Learn why your hardest moments are actually God's greatest blessings. I want you to imagine, right from the very start, that you are stepping into a moment of divine encounter. A moment when the very air around you vibrates with a celestial promise and an energy that assures you that every tear and every trial you've experienced has been a stepping stone on the path toward a greater, deeper blessing. I know that sometimes life can feel overwhelming, as if every hardship is a weight too heavy to bear. But I'm here to share with you a message that combines the eternal wisdom of the Bible with the teachings of the Lord and the exhilarating, life-changing style that reminds you that miracles aren't just found in ancient scriptures. They are living, breathing realities that we experience every day. In our journey together today, we will explore how every setback, every moment of despair, and every heartache can actually be the very catalyst that propels you toward a miracle that transforms your life forever. I remember a time when I too felt lost, burdened by the trials that seemed insurmountable. I was at a crossroads, wondering if the pain I felt was a punishment or a sign that I was being refined, purified by the fires of life. And it was in that very moment of darkness that I encountered the radiant truth. God works in mysterious ways. When you face what appears to be the end of your journey, know that it may be the very beginning of something beautiful and eternal. We often search for immediate answers, for a quick fix to our suffering. Yet the Bible teaches us that there is a divine purpose in our struggles. For we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Romans chapter 8 verse 28. This scripture is not just an old verse. It is a living promise that speaks to every moment of hardship we endure. I challenge you now to reflect. Have you ever considered that the pain you are experiencing might be the hand of God sculpting you into a vessel of His grace? As we journey together, I want you to embrace that thought with an open heart. Imagine that every tear, every sigh, every moment of doubt is being transformed into a blessing that is uniquely yours. Tailor-made by a loving Creator who sees you, knows you, and is working on your behalf. The Bible is filled with stories of individuals who faced insurmountable odds yet emerged victorious because they trusted in God's plan. Think of Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers, only to rise to become a powerful leader in Egypt. His darkest moments were the very crucible that forged a future filled with purpose and providence. And then there is Job, whose life was marred by relentless suffering. Yet, despite his agony, he clung to his faith, and in the end, God blessed him beyond measure. These stories are not meant to be distant echoes from the past. They are powerful reminders that you, too, can find strength and hope amid your trials. I want you to feel the weight of these stories and let them remind you that the teachings of the Lord are not merely words on a page. They are living truths that guide us through our darkest hours. As we continue, I want to take you deeper into this journey by inviting you to visualize a scene of breathtaking beauty and divine energy. Picture yourself standing on the edge of a vast canyon at sunrise. The sky painted with hues of pink, orange, and gold. A scene so magnificent that it seems like a glimpse into heaven itself. In that moment, you feel an overwhelming sense of peace, a clarity that tells you that every hardship you've endured was not in vain. You understand that the tears you have shed are like the morning dew that nourishes the earth, making way for new growth and new life. This is the power of God's love and the wisdom of the Bible in action. It is in these moments that we can see how our hardest times are intricately woven into the tapestry of our lives. Each thread a divine blessing that contributes to a masterpiece designed by the Lord. And let me ask you, have you ever wondered if there is a greater plan behind every challenge you face? If you pause for a moment and listen to the still, small voice of faith within, you might just hear the whisper of hope telling you that there is a reason, a divine purpose behind every trial. I have seen it time and time again, both in my own life and in the lives of those I have encountered on this journey. There are moments when the path seems too steep, when the burden seems too heavy, yet within that very struggle lies the potential for a breakthrough, a miracle that will change everything. In these moments, the Bible comes alive with the promise of new beginnings. The teachings of the Lord remind us that we are never alone in our struggles. Every challenge is an opportunity to draw closer to God and to discover the hidden blessings that lie within. There is something incredibly powerful about the way faith transforms our perception of pain. When we see our hardships not as curses but as blessings in disguise, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. I invite you to join me in this shift of perspective, one where every trial becomes a stepping stone to a more glorious future. It is not always easy to see the light when you are in the midst of darkness. But I promise you, if you keep your heart open and your faith strong, you will begin to see that every hardship is a hidden gift from the Lord. As we walk this path together, remember that the Bible is not just a historical document, but a guidebook for life. Its pages are filled with the wisdom of those who have walked this earth before us, who have faced the same storms and emerged stronger and more resilient. The teachings of the Lord are a beacon of hope, a reminder that no matter how rough the road may seem, God's love is always there to light the way. I want you to consider the possibility that every moment of pain, every setback, and every disappointment is a divine setup for a comeback that will leave you forever changed. Imagine the transformation that occurs when you shift your perspective from one of despair to one of hope, from one of defeat to one of triumph. This is the very essence of what it means to walk in faith and to trust in the promises of the Bible. I recall a time when I was overwhelmed by a series of events that seemed designed to break me. I felt as though I was drowning in a sea of uncertainty and despair. But then, in the quiet moments of prayer, I began to sense a stirring in my soul, a gentle reminder that God was with me, guiding me, and preparing me for something greater. That experience was nothing short of miraculous. It was as if the heavens had opened up, and in that sacred moment, I felt the presence of the Lord enveloping me with love and compassion. It was a turning point, a moment when I realized that my hardest moments were, in fact, the very moments that were molding me into a vessel capable of receiving God's greatest blessings. And so, my dear friend, I ask you again, what if the challenges you face are not punishments, but blessings in disguise? What if every trial is a lesson, a divine whisper urging you to grow stronger, to rise higher, and to embrace the fullness of life that God intends for you? This is the message I want to share with you today, a message of hope, of renewal, and of unwavering faith. As you listen, I encourage you to open your heart and let the words sink in. Let them remind you that you are not defined by your hardships, but by the strength and resilience that comes from trusting in the divine plan. In our time together, we have touched on the stories of biblical figures like Joseph and Job, whose lives were transformed by their unwavering faith. Their journeys remind us that our struggles are not the end of the story, but rather the prologue to an extraordinary narrative written by the very hand of God. I want you to know that your story, too, is being written with purpose and precision. Each chapter of your life, no matter how painful, is a testament to the enduring power of faith and the relentless love of our Creator. Have you ever noticed how sometimes the darkest nights produce the brightest stars? That is the truth of our spiritual journey. Through the deepest trials come the most luminous revelations. And as we stand together on the precipice of this truth, we begin to understand that the hardships we endure are not barriers, but bridges that connect us to a higher purpose, to a love that transcends our understanding, and to a destiny that is filled with hope and promise. I challenge you to look at your life with new eyes, to see every moment of pain as an invitation to grow, to learn, and to become the person you were always meant to be. The Bible is a treasure trove of wisdom that encourages us to see beyond the immediate, to trust in the long-term plan that God has for each of us. The teachings of the Lord remind us that while we may not always understand the reasons behind our struggles, we can have unwavering faith that they are part of a grand design. Imagine for a moment that you are on a journey through a vast, ancient forest, where every tree, every leaf, and every rustle in the wind carries the echoes of divine wisdom. In that forest, even the roughest, most gnarled branches are a testament to survival, to the beauty that emerges after a storm. This is the landscape of our souls, a terrain that has been shaped by both joy and sorrow, by light and shadow. And yet, within this intricate mosaic lies a promise that is greater than any hardship, the promise of redemption. The promise of a life transformed by the boundless love of God. I want you to know that you are never alone in this journey. I stand with you as a fellow traveler, someone who has experienced the crushing weight of despair and has been lifted by the grace of the Lord. Together, we can explore the mystery of why our hardest moments are, in truth, the stepping stones to God's greatest blessings. Let me share with you an experience that remains etched in my memory. A moment of profound clarity and spiritual awakening that I encountered in a secluded, sacred place high atop a mountain. The air was thin, the sky vast and infinite, and as I sat in quiet contemplation, I felt a presence so overwhelming that it seemed to suspend time itself. In that moment, I heard a voice that resonated deep within my soul, a voice that spoke of hope, of renewal, and of the divine orchestration behind every event in our lives. I realized then that the struggles I had faced were not random acts of cruelty, but intentional lessons designed to prepare me for a destiny filled with grace and abundance. That mountain, that sacred space, became a symbol of transformation, a place where I could surrender my pain and embrace the truth that my hardest moments were, in fact, the very moments that would lead me to God's greatest blessings. As you continue to listen, I urge you to consider the possibility that your own life is a series of divine appointments. Each challenge, each trial, is a meticulously placed stepping stone on the path to your ultimate destiny. The Bible tells us that God's ways are higher than our ways. And though we may struggle to understand the purpose behind our suffering, we can trust that it is all part of a larger, more beautiful plan. Have you ever asked yourself, what if my pain is the precursor to something miraculous? I invite you to reflect on that question as you journey through this script. Consider that every hardship you endure is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your heart, waiting for the perfect conditions to bloom into something extraordinary. And as you nurture that seed with faith and perseverance, you will witness a transformation that defies human understanding. A metamorphosis that turns your deepest wounds into the very source of your strength and resilience. This message is not just about survival, it's about thriving in the face of adversity. It's about recognizing that even in the midst of our darkest moments, there is a light that can never be extinguished, a light that comes from a deep, unshakable faith in the teachings of the Lord and the eternal promises of the Bible. I want you to know that when you look back on your life years from now, you will see that every trial, every moment of despair, was a necessary part of your journey toward becoming the person you were meant to be. And in that realization, you will find a joy and a peace that surpass all understanding. Now, let's take a moment to consider the transformative power of perspective. We often view our hardships as insurmountable obstacles. Yet what if we were to see them instead as opportunities for growth? What if each setback is simply the precursor to a greater comeback? A comeback that is orchestrated by a loving God who desires nothing more than to see you flourish. I challenge you, my friend, to shift your mindset. Embrace the truth that every hardship carries within it the seeds of a blessing. Just as a seed must be buried in darkness before it can burst forth into the brilliant light of a flower, so too must we sometimes endure the darkness in order to fully appreciate the radiance of God's grace. This journey we are on is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage, determination, and an unwavering commitment to faith. But I promise you that the rewards are immeasurable. When you begin to see your struggles through the lens of divine purpose, you unlock a power within you that is capable of overcoming any obstacle. You become a living testimony to the truth that God's greatest blessings often come dressed in the garments of our hardest moments. And as you continue along this path, remember that you are part of a much larger story, a story that stretches back through the ages. woven into the very fabric of the Bible and the teachings of the Lord. Every verse, every parable, and every miracle recorded in the sacred scriptures serves as a reminder that our lives, too, are imbued with divine purpose. I invite you now to visit trusted resources like BibleGateway.com or other reputable sites where you can delve deeper into these timeless truths and explore the miraculous narratives that continue to inspire millions around the world. As we approach the culmination of this journey, I want you to feel the surge of empowerment that comes from knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. Each challenge, every painful moment, has been a necessary part of your preparation for the incredible blessings that lie ahead. I know that the road may seem long and arduous at times, but I assure you that every step you take is guided by a divine hand. Look back on your life and see the evidence of God's love in the way you have grown, the lessons you have learned, and the strength you have gained. The Bible teaches us that the testing of your faith produces perseverance, James chapter 1 verse 3. And I want you to embrace that truth wholeheartedly. Your perseverance in the face of adversity is a testament to your inner strength and a reflection of the divine grace that flows through your life. As you move forward, let this knowledge infuse you with hope and determination. Know that no matter how insurmountable the challenges may seem, you have within you the capacity to overcome them, to rise above the pain, and to experience the profound blessings that only a life of faith can bring. In these final moments of our journey together, I want you to take a deep breath and let the truth of these words settle into your heart. I want you to remember that your hardest moments are not punishments, they are opportunities for growth, for transformation, and for experiencing God's boundless love in ways that you may have never imagined. You are a cherished creation, uniquely designed to overcome, to flourish, and to inspire others with your story of resilience and hope. As we close this chapter of our conversation, I invite you to reflect on your own journey. Think about the trials you have faced, the moments when you felt utterly alone, and then consider how those very moments have shaped you into the incredible person you are today. Ask yourself, how have these challenges prepared me for the blessings that are yet to come? In the teachings of the Lord, we find not just guidance but a call to action, to rise above our circumstances and to trust that every hardship is a divine precursor to something greater. I truly believe that when you embrace this perspective, life takes on a new, vibrant meaning. Suddenly, the pain of yesterday becomes the power of today, and the challenges of the present become the promise of a future filled with hope and light. I stand here, sharing this message with you not just as a biblical scholar but as someone who has experienced the miraculous transformation that comes from unwavering faith. I have seen firsthand how the darkest moments can give birth to the most radiant blessings. And I want you to know that your journey, too, is a divine masterpiece in progress, a story that is constantly being rewritten by the loving hand of God. As you leave this moment, carry with you the conviction that every tear, every moment of despair, is an essential part of your transformation. Embrace your struggles, for they are the catalysts for your greatest blessings. And remember, you are never alone on this path. I am with you, we are with each other. And most importantly, the eternal love of God is the light that will guide you through every storm. Let your heart be filled with gratitude for the hardships that have taught you resilience, for they are the very tools that shape you into a beacon of hope for others. In the end, it is not the absence of struggle that defines us, but the strength we gain in overcoming them. As you continue on your journey, keep your eyes fixed on the promise that the Bible and the teachings of the Lord offer, a promise that no matter how hard the road may be, God's greatest blessings are waiting just around the corner, ready to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. Now, imagine the joy of looking back on your life and realizing that every difficult moment was a necessary part of your evolution, a divine plan that has led you to this very moment of clarity and hope. This is the special, unparalleled spiritual moment that sets our journey apart. It is the moment when you understand that your struggles have been the very foundation upon which your future has been built, a future filled with light, love, and the miraculous presence of God. I encourage you to share this message with others who might be struggling. To be the living example of how faith transforms pain into purpose. And as you do, you will become a part of a larger community, united by the belief that our hardest moments are not the end, but the beginning of a wondrous, divine transformation. So let us move forward together, with hearts full of hope and eyes fixed on the eternal promise of God's love. Remember always that the Bible, with its timeless wisdom, and the teachings of the Lord are your guiding lights in the darkest of times. Embrace your hardships, for they are the stepping stones to a future where miracles abound and God's blessings flow abundantly into your life. And now, as our time together draws to a close, I leave you with this final thought. In every struggle, in every tear, there is a divine purpose. Open your heart to the truth that you are being prepared for something far greater than you can imagine. The hardest moments in your life are not the end of your story. They are the very beginning of a miraculous journey that will lead you to God's greatest blessings. Keep the faith, trust in His plan, and know that you are cherished beyond measure. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey of transformation and hope. And may you walk forward with renewed strength, courage, and the unwavering conviction that every trial is a blessing in disguise.